I got so much out of the optional homework. I found that the more I made time for or brought attention to, the more growth I experienced. And some of it was very easy just to incorporate into the flow of my day, like bringing a certain mindset or an awareness into something that I was doing anyway, like during my commute to work, for example. And I didn't feel pressure to do the homework. I was usually excited to carve out space for it. And the life workshop was actually was also really supportive for having dedicated time for the homework. And I also loved that there was a diversity of homework options to be able to circle back to and um, continue to work on the lab in my own time, at my own pace, outside of the course. And it felt like even though this part of the lab is over, I get to keep playing.
I feel like it was really important that the homework was optional with a capital O, and that there were so many different options as far as what the homework, could entail. Um, I didn't always do the specific homework prompts or suggestions, but I always did some art almost every day. And I think knowing that there was just the fact that there was this homework helped me to like make the time for that, which if there hadn't been the word homework hadn't been used, I might have just kind of not worked so hard to find the time. And, there were some days where I, maybe painted something for 5 minutes and other days where I would get involved in something for, maybe closer to an hour. But it felt really good that there were so many choices within the homework.
Yeah, I also really appreciated like the wide range of choices every week. Um, some weeks it was like I just didn't have a ton of extra time, but there was always something, at least one thing that I could pick to do if I wanted. And similar to Natasha, it was better when I did more. Um, the difference was really noticeable, and it was also like more fun. But at the same time, some weeks just doesn't work out, and it's not like I'm not getting something from it anyway. And it's also like I really appreciate that when we would meet, it wasn't like, okay, everyone tell me what homework you did and what you learned from it. It's very like, volunteer anything you want to say about your experience with any of the homework this week. Um, but I do feel really glad that I have all that information, and I'm definitely going to go back and try and do some of the ones that I didn't get a chance to do. I think I'm looking forward to that.
I signed up for the lab at a time when I had so much on my plate. And I know this idea of homework was like, I don't know where I'm going to fit it in. I don't think I'm going to get to it. And to be honest, I read all the optional homework and I heard all the optional homework and it planted lots of seeds and I definitely did some, but I probably did less than most people and I still got so much out of the lab and I feel like all the seeds that were planted, I was like, oh, this was part of the homework. Like as I'm going through my day-to-day life. So I feel like if you've got a lot going on, like to know that you still get so much out of the lab and like you said, it's kind of the gift that keeps on giving because it's planting seeds about, oh, if I go um go lean myself up against a tree, or if I go talk to a stranger, or all of these things like putting myself out of my comfort zone or getting grounded with nature. But these are all things that we can do as part of our daily lives. And it's not like, yes, like you said, it's that you can add so much by doing it and knowing that it doesn't take away. If you haven't done it, there's no shame, there's no judgment. It's just optional and that you still get an amazing amount out of the lab.
Yeah, I would second that. I think it was really refreshing to get the reminder that the homework was supplemental. And as a person who has a psychological allergy to homework, it was hard. It was hard to get myself to do the homework. But knowing that if the homework didn't get done, I was still getting a lot out of the lab and the live classes. But similar to everyone else, the times that I did do the homework, it was really great to see how much I was getting out of it and how appreciative I was, and how good I felt after doing it. And it was nice, and also just an added bonus to what you're bringing in from the class. And for me, I think maybe one of the things that came from it is that maybe if I was doing more of the homework, things would be maybe implanting in my life a little bit quicker. But I did notice, especially kind of as things came to an end, a lot of these ideas are sort of percolating. They're still percolating in my brain. And similar to Sarah, you're seeing kind of things here and there. And you're like, oh yeah, we talked about that in the lab, or these are some of those skills that we're trying to build up and utilize. And so it's always refreshing to kind of see those come to light in the day to day.